Yeah, so what's out there? Should I apply to Lowe's? Should I apply to some retail store to make $9, $10 an hour? These are security jobs, like half the numbers that they put on Indeed. When I call, they don't even work. And I check the number to make sure I dialed the right one, and they still don't work. It needs to take my time at that point to look up their company online. Why would I want to work for somebody who doesn't put the right phone number on Indeed? If they're like that, if they're inconsistent and unprofessional, basically is what it comes down to. By not even providing the proper phone number to contact, that just opens up a whole other can of worms that chances are more likely than not, they're like that with a lot of things probably in their company, right? Yeah, probably. And I know those kinds of companies, those jackleg companies, and it's just bullshit. It's garbage. You know, I mean, I made 150 to do a job, work at some retail job. That would take me 2 3 days to make after tax. I mean, it's wow. At these low paying jobs, it's just like ridiculous. So what do you do in the meantime while you're pursuing your college degree and life circumstances and things that life throws your way? You say, "Oh well, Sean, why don't you go to school?" Well, I am going to school. You know, and a lot of things happen throughout these 3 years that have dictated basically the reason why I haven't graduated yet. A little more than halfway through on my associates, if it was a perfect scenario, pitch perfect, everything was all good and well. All the crap that happened to me being disowned by my parents. I'm not saying, feel sorry for me. I'm just saying life situations, circumstances come up. Cut off from my parents on my own by the time I'm 17, ineligible for financial aid. I was 25. So in the meantime, I found a school online I could pay for, and that's where I went to plumbing. I just paid for it out of pocket. I don't have anything on it. Now I have a plumber diploma on it, a little more educated on it. Now I just need the more hands-on practical experience. I used to have more of that, but I got away from it because I went back to college for criminal justice to get my associate's degree. Because a lot of times now, in a lot of police departments, that's now a requirement, especially if you want to move up in rank. Moving up in rank, you're not a patrol officer. You're not constantly stressed and dealing with things like that. More or less desk job type of thing. But you're ranking, you're higher ranking officer. I've seen all the corrupt things going on out there. People selling drugs on the streets, young people just being torn up alive and dying. I've known probably at least 4 people, one of them being a family relative who have passed away from that. And, things that have happened to me that you can't just simply shut off. And yeah, I went to therapy, and yeah, it kind of helped, but not really. I just have to help myself. So the whole point is like, I'm not where I should be today because a series of situations have happened and occurred. And I've tried every which way along the way. I've tried being open-minded to anything worth my time. So these jobs now, it's like shit. I'm 28 years old. My license is away for, I don't know, since it's the first and only offense, probably maybe 3 months, because it's a first offense in the state of Pennsylvania. But it could be taken away for a year. And even if I get a job driving plumbing, HVAC, which I've gone to school for, um, I mean, who's going to insure me on the company vehicles? You know, like I got my 235, which is Pennsylvania certified armed agent guard type thing, but all you do is just like, trust me, it doesn't even have to be a while. It could be a week. You'd be like, sucks. Because you're working for money that doesn't exist. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? And I have an idea of what I'd like to do. I'd like to get an investment property. My old original goal before all this shit came my way 3 months ago was to get my CDL, get the experience, drive a truck while I finish up my degree, put money away so I can have money to just buy a property or a foreclosed property, but not just a mortgage property, like an investment property. If I could get a foreclosed $60,000 house, I had the capital, put it up because I'm not married, don't have a mortgage, and I'm not tied down. There's a reason for that too. I could have had a house. I could have signed myself up for hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, but that didn't really seem all that appealing to me. So I didn't do that. But for now, it's like, Christ, what am I supposed to do? No car, odd jobs here and there. Like, I don't know, man. But this is just the reality of the situation. Going on Indeed, and I'm applying every damn day. I mean, I check my email, and it's just spam. I do callbacks, follow-up callbacks, and it's like ridiculous. Oh God, it just sucks. I feel like I honestly, I talk about the whole business thing. I honestly feel like there's just nothing out there because everything requires bachelor's. Like things I'm interested in require bachelor's to nothing. But as long as nobody's wasting my time, that's what I care about. I care about people wasting my time. And people used to tell me way back when I was 20, 21, so like it was like 30 years ago, you can't. I mean, there are certain things in life where things are beyond your control, but to some extent, like you gotta, I've done all kinds of things. I've created YouTube videos because that's a learning process. I've implemented music to it to make it more interesting. No one's down and taught me how to do that. Like I'm learning these things on my own, and it's enjoyable because I'm learning, and they're getting better. I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. Like it's getting better, and that I feel better because of it. I don't feel better sitting at my computer looking at these jobs, and it's like, ah, Christ, Lowe's is right up the road, but I guess I could check out their plumbing department. The Penn Medicine apprenticeship thing, I'm applying to that. The page is like taking forever to load. I sat there for like 20 minutes, just trying to refresh it. Like, nothing. Ridiculous. And this kind of shit goes on with me all the time. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Money working under the table for my friend, then I could going out to some job. I might get better with people skills out and about. God, I know where I want, I know where I want to be. And I'm starting to do the things to implement, where I want to be at. I want to have a couple of investment properties to rent out. I advertised for rooms for rent online. People got back to me, at least 20 within 2 weeks. It's like 10 people a week saying they can move in like immediately, like right away. I have the emails. And I did that as an experiment to see, before I bought the investment property, see if I would have a hard time based on locations. So 2 of the same rooms, Same room, but two different locations because it was an experiment. It wasn't real. To other people out there, they thought it was because it was on Craigslist or for rent, whatever. I put down the, the charges, and I had people get back to me. So I know, and I had more people get back to me. I don't hate it, but it's a Republican state. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't quite feel like home to me. I mean, I've got to go back to college in August. I've got no car. It was totaled 3 months ago. I've got this court case coming up on the 24th. It's like, but at least I'm not screwed up like I used to. I'm trying to work on myself, but what am I going to work on myself when I'm going to dick around? What am I going to like twiddle my thumbs for like the next 10 years while people tell you, oh, I'm young because of 50 and I'm like 28. Oh, you're still young. Oh, but don't do that. Oh, you're still young. You have time. So help me out. Don't do that. Tell them about how your time is precious and you got to dedicate it to certain things. Create Google Calendar specifically just to get things done. Otherwise, you'll just sit on your ass and watch Netflix because that's what happens to me because I'm so depressed, about it, all this shit. And I try not to think about it too much, but it's a reality. It's true. It's what happened. It's the snowball effect. And that snowball's still rolling down the fucking hill, too. So it's like, when does the shit hit the tree, man? Like, when can I just shatter it and just fucking, try something else? Shit all the time. But never know what I'm going to come home to and walk into. Never knowing if I'm going to get kicked out, this or that. Like, me as a man, myself, I want to be able to be financially free. I want to be able to help people out who are down and out. But I'm only willing to do that if they're willing to help themselves and they show me so. Their talk, what they say doesn't mean anything to me. What they do, well, it's kind of like a combination of the two. But I pull more heavily on actually seeing what they do, their action, because that's the value. It's kind of one of those talk is cheap and talk the talk, walk the walk type of thing. I talk about this website and these business ideas a lot on here. A lot of it's just a lot of free time. A lot of it's just talk to, a few people I do have in my life that I've talked to about it. Like, sure, tired of hearing about it. Plus, if anyone else is out there who has a similar mindset, I try to give some good advice, or at least what I think is good advice sometimes. So hopefully that could help somebody else out. These videos aren't really all about me. And a lot of times I like to watch myself on video to see how I look to others on the outside world. And that's how I can improve myself so I'm not so awkward. People can take me more seriously. So my social skills, like, I didn't start talking until I was 4 years old. So all those speaking skills and social skills and whatnot, I was silent because a lot of screwed up stuff happened. So I didn't talk from the ages of like 1 to 4, which are the most critical years. So, I mean, I was, however, eating out of dumpsters. Apparently, I was told at the age of 4 years old because I wasn't being nourished properly. So somehow I was able to be smart enough to know to feed myself. But yeah, it's been a long run, and trying to come out of it. So investment properties, when I get my license back, get to see the Act 235 and the red card for Delaware. Like I try to apply to these jobs, but they didn't press charges or anything. Nothing's on my record yet, as far as I know. But even with those jobs, unless the company is really desperate and I've worked with them before, you kind of know people and they network and they still get you in, which is very important. Networking is more important than what you know. if you try to get in the door. Once you get in the door, of course, you develop it. But in security, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a few things you need to know, a few basics, a foundation. But I mean, after that, like, what? Yeah, I just need something that pays at least $20 an hour that doesn't feel like my time is being wasted away for like the next couple of years while I pay off my little debt that I owe. I owe like 20,000 in debt, I think. 10,000 for student loans for HVAC. And actually, the other 10 was mostly the car, which was totaled out. Insurance. The insurance ended up paying for that, so it's probably not as bad now. But the last time I looked at my credit, they didn't apply it to Credit Karma yet. So I'm going to look on that. Hopefully, my credit score is going up. But I feel like I have all this potential and I can do so much, and I'm just not satisfied at like one particular job. You know, the only thing I can see from working these jobs is, you know, me being shot down out of the sky as it is, you know, with the whole security thing with this, you know, this thing I'm dealing with now. Like, I don't know to hire me. That's the whole reason why I got the certifications in the first place. I figured, well, I'm going to college for law enforcement. You know, it's going to look good on a resume when I go apply to it one day. I'll learn how to fire a firearm, which I have, which I do, I know how to do. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, we're going with this whole thing. So, you know. So I guess I'll keep applying the HVAC jobs. I'll keep applying the plumbing jobs. I'll keep doing my follow-up calls. But I'm probably going to end up, unfortunately, because of the requirements of a lot of these jobs. I've got no assets. I've got like a steady stream of income right now. It's not a good place to be. I mean, Christ, I'm 28 years old and I'm still living in a room. The problem is I'm all over the place. I can't be all over the place. Be open-minded, but I can't be all over the place. So, I don't know. I'm thinking just keep it simple for now. You know, just look to Lowe's, see if they're hiring for plumbing department. I'm familiar with like most of the things and things like that. Tell people what they need, and you know, just keep browsing online and find a way to, you know, work a couple jobs. I'm basically going to become a workaholic. You know, a couple jobs until I go back to college. I can't wait around to have somebody give me an answer for like $20 an hour, which really isn't even that much money anyway. So yeah, a couple jobs to at least make that $20 an hour, I guess, right? Lowe's, Home Depot, ShopRite, like hiring for loss prevention. They don't carry firearms, so you got to deal with people who are on probation, or, you know, they got a warrant out, and they don't want to go back to jail, so like they might be willing to fight you, and you got to be hands-on. You know, that's their policy. So yeah, screw that. You know, you're not going to give me cuffs. You're not going to give me any tools to work with except for my hands. And if something happens to me, I'm sure I'm going to have to sign some document stating that you're not responsible or liable as a company, right? Yeah, most likely. Most likely. And who's going to pay my medical bills when that shit happens? I am. And if I don't, you know, like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would any of the cops? You think all the cops out there would go out into these life-threatening situations if they didn't have cuffs and guns and batons and tasers and cop cams and all those tools to ensure that they can go home at the end of each day to their families? No, a lot of them wouldn't put up with that shit at all. They wouldn't. No. So, yeah, I don't know. Check outside the police again. I gotta stop smoking. See, these are nasty. Do everything physically except for run a mile and a half. I can do the push-ups. I can do the sit-ups. Preps for PT tests for department for an academy. I can do everything but run the full mile. I don't know. Like I said, it's just gonna be Lowe's, Home Depot. I'll just do a job in like a day or two, and that should cover my rent for the month. I don't know what that job is. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll be able to put money away to pay off my debt, improve my credit score, and just focus on my school. There's this Pennsylvania home inspection thing too. I'm gonna do that online. It's like for Pennsylvania, be certified home inspector, and you just go out there. And those guys, oh, $2,000 or $3,000 a month. That's pretty much what I'm used to making. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. It's a rainy day out today. I was gonna go out for a walk, but like later when it stops raining, it's a good thing I didn't finish painting those awnings. I knew the forecast was going to be crap. Pretty much going to be an in-house fly all day type of day. So see what happens.